Vajubhai was born in Rajkot on 30th January 1915. He lived in Rajkot till about 10 years of age, after which he moved to Bhavnagar and stayed at his Fua's house, Keshubai Chandarana's home. And it was at his home that he learnt about various musical instruments like flute, tabla, sitar, and apart from that, also about literature. Every morning, Vajubhai would wake up at 5 a.m. He would climb the Takteshwar Mandir steps and play the flute. Within the 10 years that he stayed in Bhavnagar, everyone around would recognize Vajubhai with the tunes of his flute. Vajubhai's relationship with his flute would last a lifetime. In fact, even after marriage, he would continue to play the flute and would tell Madhuben jokingly, "આ બંસરી બે રીતે વાગી શકે છે." Coming back to his childhood, he was a prankster. He and his friends would do a lot of masti. For example, they would go to cinema halls and on the fans they would put sneezing powder. So when the movie would begin and the fans would start, people would start sneezing. They would also climb trees and pick fruits from a fruit vendor who would pass by underneath. And they would make up ghost stories and scare people. All these and many more instances are mentioned in his book called Badpan Na Vanarveda. In 1930s, he would also apply to become a freedom fighter. He was the leader of his group, and for him, truth and justice always came first. Then, no matter whatever the consequences would be. Unfortunately, at that time, he and his gang were asked to come back later as they were too young to fight for the country. In 1938, he would also serve at Luana Vidyarthi Bhavan for about a year. And it was during these years at Bhavnagar that he became good friends with two brothers, Rasik Kapadia and Dr. Ravindra Kapadia. And it was one of them who one day came over to him with a brand new pen and handed it over to him to test it. They said, "અરે વજુ આ નવી પેન લઈ આવ્યો છું, જરા ટેસ્ટ કરીને કે ને તારો કેવી લાગે છે પેન." So Vajubhai took the pen back home and while testing it, ended up writing an entire story in his notebook. Years later, this same story would turn into a film called Khilona and a novel called Ramakda Vahu. In 1939, Vajubhai would shift to Mumbai to realize his dreams. He would say, "મારે દિગ્દર્શક બનવું છે. I want to be a director." So Vajubhai came to Mumbai to realize his dreams, to become a director. He would visit studios, develop relationships, and would soon start working on a few films. However, his momentum was stopped due to a huge hartal that happened in the film industry. The hartal would go on for long, and it was during this time that the trustee of Chitrapat magazine came up to him and said, "Why don't you write for my magazine?" Vajubhai, as usual, would say, "પણ મારે દિગ્દર્શક બનવું છે. Why should I write for a magazine?" But the trustee would end up convincing him, saying that you need to take care of your day-to-day needs, and why don't you come write for us, and once the hartal is called off, you can always go back and write for the film industry. With that, Vajubhai joined Chitrapat in 1946, where he worked as a writer, a journalist, and later would become the editor of the magazine. It was during this time that he also got married to Madhuben. They got married in 1949. It was during the same year that one day Vajubai and Madhuben were traveling in a taxi when they noticed a leaflet that was being circulated in the city. It was a separately printed leaflet of Chitrapat magazine talking really badly about a film that had just released. It was printed without Vajubai's knowledge. The filmmakers did a case on Chitrapat, and the owners requested Vajubai to take the blame and give a public apology. As mentioned earlier, truth and justice came first for Vajubai. Without even a moment's thought, Vajubai gave his resignation and moved out. He would refuse to take responsibility for what he had not done. As time passed by, he started getting the news that people were really looking forward to reading the rest of his novel. He had finished one novel in Chitrapat, Ramakada Vahu, and was in between the second one, Juan Haiya. Due to the public demand and to continue his novel, he started writing in a magazine called Chaya. As readers got to know about this, majority moved to Chaya magazine to the extent that the owners did not have enough production resources to keep up with the demand. Looking at the pull of his writing, a friend and relative, Vrajlal Bhai Radia, suggested Vajubai to start his own magazine, and the rest was history. With the help and support of well-wishers like Maganbhai Savani, Chitralekha was born on 22nd April 1950. From 1950 to 1959, Vajubai would write columns like Prabhatna Pushpo, Sher Ma Farta Farta, Naval Katha, Dhundu Pandu, and so on in the magazine, which would later turn into books. In his presence, two books were published, Ramakda Vahu and Juan Haiya. For the 9 years, it would mainly be a one-man show, which people would later call a one-pen show of Vaju Kotak. He would work day and night, burning the midnight oil, to ensure he would complete his writing commitments, developing photographs, managing production, advertising, and so on of the company unfailingly every week. Before he passed away in 1959, he had created 3 products, Chitralekha, Beej, and G. In his last few days of illness, he would tell Madhuben, I'm leaving you with a lot of responsibility. Responsibility of not 3 but 6 kids. Maulik, Bipin, Ronak, and Chitralekha, Beej, and G. Madhuben would promise to take care of all their kids, and against all odds, and with the resolution to keep the publications alive, Madhuben, with the help of Vajubai's closest friends, Jeetubai Mehta, Vijay Gupta Maurya, Harish Buch, Venibai Purohit, and Harkisan Mehta, would take the legacy forward. Here I would like to take just a few moments to look at Vajubai as a person. According to me, Vajubai was a selfless person. Even during tough times, he would go out of his way to help others. In fact, I've heard of a day when he removed his own shirt, handed it over to a beggar, and walked back home. He couldn't see anyone sad or in despair. He had a magnetic personality. Wherever he would go, people would surround him, wanting to hear what he had to say. He was also known for his fearlessness. In fact, he was known as the lion of Gujarati journalism at the time. He was a thinker, very forward for his time, a family man, and last but not the least, a visionary.